Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? Livewire, it's all about sports and entertainment. You don't wanna miss it, so official like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats. You know that we gotta run it back, whether on the field or the court. You know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is Livewire, sports and entertainment. Let's go.
All right, what's good, everyone? Welcome to another Livewire Sports Media Update. All right, so this is part 2 of 3 of Stephanie White's presser that happened yesterday. I did part 1, laying out everything that she talked about here, but there's so much in that press conference where it's a lot that you have to take away and a lot that you might miss in there. And so I'm going to break it down in 3 videos. So the next video, I did one yesterday, part 2 today, part 3 be tomorrow. So in this part is going to be talking about the core. It's going to talk about the 3 people that she mentioned: Kelsey, Caitlin, and Aliyah Boston. Plus, I'm going to highlight also what she talks about Aliyah Boston and Caitlin Clark, and what she thinks of them specifically as players and people as general. Now, if you listen to Stephanie White's presser, you could clearly distinct the difference between her and Chrissy Sides. The communication, how she talks about her players. She doesn't single just one player out. She talks about all of them. Even she didn't name Lexi as a core 3, but she gave Lexi, she talked about Lexi in her press conference. And from what I gather from that is Lexi she might not be core 3, but she's a core 4 because she's not going nowhere. If you look at the picture that they took together, you could clearly see that Lexi Hall is not going nowhere. Lexi is going to be a part of this club. They're going to build around the people that they need to build around. That's Caitlin, Kelsey, and Aliyah Boston. But clearly you could distinct how well Stephanie White communicates. She translates. She's been in the game. She's been in the building. She won on every level. And she talked about the passion of being home, and the excitement that she wants to work with these. She wants to bring the best out of these young ladies. She wants to add more around them to win championships. They're not talking about a 3 to 5 year plan, where you gotta wait, because you got generational talent right here now, and you have to capitalize on that. And why not capitalize on Caitlin, Leah, Kelsey, and Alexi while you have them young? They're all on rookie contracts, so you have a lot to wiggle room. You have a lot to do things with, where you have 4 or 5 players on a contract, and you can't keep them all. But nevertheless, I'm gonna let you listen to, because she did talk to she did and besides her press conference, she also did another one-on-one video, and it went down as pretty substantial. It went the way I expected to go. She nails every 3 facets of what it's like the experience watching Caitlin, the crowd, everything. How it just took a whole different feel of it. Me personally, I love it. I love just the way how she definitely brings excitement and joy to these players. The one thing that you're gonna always take away from it is that this team is here to build now. Again, they're not here to play games. They're not here to, think about, 5 years down the road. They're here to win championships. They're not trying to, build a roster, and work the rookie deal, because you look at it, and when you got generational players like Aliyah Boston and Caitlin Clark, why are you gonna say Lynn Dunn sit there and say, oh well, we got 3 to 5 year plan? You don't have 3 to 5 years when it's time to win, especially when you hiring a high profile coach as Stephanie White. It makes more sense in the world. So I'm going to play this one clip and then I'm gonna come back.
A fever, and to be able to come back and work with another 22, a generational player in Caitlin Clark, a generational player in Aliyah Boston. Certainly, when you think about back-to-back Rookie of the Years and what each of those players have done up until this point for their universities, in the game of basketball, for the women's basketball culture and community. It's unprecedented. And to be able to work with those guys and Kelsey Mitchell, who I think has weathered the storm of Indiana Fever basketball, and I felt like had the best year of her career, this year. And really, when you think about teams, you think about a core three, right? You think about a big three, and to be able to work with that big three, and continue to work and put pieces around them to compete for a championship, back in my home state, it couldn't have aligned any better.
I want to ask you about all those big three.
And see, that's the thing. When you have to have, if you look at the league, they have big threes. They have, I guess you could say Asia Wilson, Kelsey Plum, Jackie Young. You got Sabrina Nescu, Jacqueline Jones. You got Brianna Stewart. You got DeWanna Bonner, Alyssa Thomas, and Dejanay Carrington. You have in Seattle, Nika, Drew Lloyd, and I guess you could say Skylar Diggins. In Dallas, you had Satu Arike and Natasha Howard. But that big three is about to be separated. So you don't have that many big threes. Then if you look at Phoenix, you have Down Taurasi, Brittany Griner, and Kalia Copper, but they old. So the best big three in a game is going to be Caitlin Clark, Kelsey Mitchell, and Aliyah Boston. Now, I know some people say, hey, Aliyah Boston looks a little heavy in her video and in the picture. I don't think so. I just think that it's the clothes that she has on, because I have seen her in slender clothes and she looks like she has lost some weight. But them pants is a little baggy that she had on, so it makes her look like she's haven't lost weight. But me personally, what I'm taking from this is that, and I hope y'all understand that, y'all follow me along with this. We can't get caught up in so much to talk about referees and what the front office need to worry about, talk about referees. Right now, it's about building this team up. It's about putting players around Caitlin, Lexi, Aliyah, and Kelsey Mitchell. We can't get in all the other tactical standpoints that talk about refereeing, because the season even hasn't started yet. There's a whole CBA that still needs to be ironed out right now. And all of that could be ironed out around the CBA. Right now, we just need to focus on this team, getting this team better, and adding the pieces that this team needs to win a championship. Everything else is working itself out. You know what I'm saying? Referees is going to be referees no matter what. You're not going to be able to change that. You got bad referees in the NFL, year in or year out. You got bad referees in the NBA. You got bad umpires in baseball. So it's just what it is. If the team goes out and play and be successful, it all work itself out. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't want to spend time talking about something that I'm not worried about right now. the main thing I'm worried about is how this team is going to be built. How Stephanie White, Kelly, and Amber is going to build this team. How Stephanie is going to build her roster. How this team is going to put pieces around these young ladies. As you hear her talking about, you have to have a core three. You have to have pieces around. Yeah, they might not mention Kelsey about her contract. That's something they don't need to do. That's something they do not need to talk about in a press conference. She alluded to Kelsey in a lot of different ways. So that means Kelsey is not going nowhere. Kelly Cross did say that in her presser, the main thing is to bring Kelsey Mitchell back. Kelsey Mitchell is in China right now playing ball overseas, so she couldn't be there for this. I'm sure she wanted to, but hey, she'll be there. They're going to get her. I'm sure they're talking to her, talking to her agents and everything like that. You had your main representative. You had Kelsey Mitchell. You had Lexi Hall, Caitlin Clark, and Aliyah Boston. And look how happy they are. Look how happy that these ladies look, man. See, look at her. Caitlin Clark never looked like that with Chrissy Size. Aliyah Boston didn't look like that with Chrissy Size. Lexi either. These women are happy. They are excited. You could tell. And for people to say, oh, well, they still like taking shots at Stephanie White and all of this stuff. That's fine and good, man. Long as Caitlin and these ladies are happy with the decision, that's all that matters. And me personally, I'm going to continue to support Stephanie White, see what she does. It might not be a great start. It might be some rocky roads. But with her spinners and what Kelly do, and something that she alluded to, because in my part 3 video, I'm going to highlight a little bit more by all of them and what their future is. But right now, I want to continue to discuss. Now, Stephanie White also talked about Aliyah Boston and Caitlin Clark in her presser and in this interview. She talked about, in the presser, she said that Caitlin Clark and Aliyah Boston has a potential to go down as one of the greatest female duels of all time. She labeled Caitlin as a point guard. She labeled Aliyah Boston as a center. Like a lot of people say, well, she, my thing is, I ain't trying to nitpick at Aliyah Boston game right now. I'm going by what Stephanie White's vision is for these young ladies. We get caught up so much on nitpicking their game instead of saying, pay attention to what the coach says. Okay, this is what I'm going to do for them. Aliyah Boston already knows that she has to get in shape and be able to run the floor. She already said that. So I'm taking her word for that. But what Stephanie White brings in the game is that, hey, we're going to be a fast, up-tempo game. Yeah, we're going to bring veterans to surround them to balance it out so the team won't be so young. But at the same time, this team will play defense. This team going to be able to run up and down the floor. And we're going to utilize Caitlin and Aliyah Boston. So you think about it. Caitlin and Aliyah Boston is the forefront. It's their team. The franchise is going to be on their back. But Caitlin spearheaded of it all. Then you got Kelsey there. Then you're going to have Lexi. Then whatever other pieces. Because if you go out and you get a Satu Sabli, your front line, that's a 3-and-D person because she's 10 times better than Alyssa Smith is. 10 times. And all you got to do is get backup players. So she highlight what Aliyah Boston and Caitlin Clark is. Let y'all take a listen.
Do some special things together.
You mentioned Aliyah Boston, she and Caitlin Clark, that duo. What are they capable of? And as you start to formulate how everything looks going forward here for the Indiana Fever, what does their path the next year, 3, 5 years look like in your vision?
I think they could go down as one of the premier duos in the history of women's basketball. We talk about a lot on the broadcasting side, especially, the scoring duos, right? Whether you're talking about, on the men's side, a Luca and a Kyrie, right? Or you're talking about on the women's side, a Diana and BG. Right. So I think that they have an opportunity to go down as one of the premier scoring duos, in the history of the league. But I also think, because of the types of people that they are, and because of the types of leaders that they are and human beings that they are two people who impact community, impact franchises because of who they are, just as much as impacting the game of basketball because of the numbers that they put up on the floor. So I think we can see, a transcendent duo with those two. And I'm excited about working with them because I think they're really just scratching the surface in how they play with one another, certainly, but in the impact that they can make in the whole of a team because of the different ways that you can use them. So I'm excited to get creative. I'm excited about, talking to them about different things that they've seen, that they enjoy, different visions that they have for their game and for our team.
You've coached superstars. Alyssa Thomas as recently as a couple of.
See, this is the thing that you have to understand with Stephanie White. She is, without a shadow of a doubt, a coach that identifies her talent. She maximizes her talent, utilize her talent. She knows what she got in Caitlin and Aliyah Boston, and she knows that they could go even higher. That's why when you have a coach with a high IQ, along with high IQ players such as Aliyah Boston and Caitlin Clark, you know what I'm saying? And you think about this. Aliyah Boston potential probably would have been halted more if Chrissy Sides was still there. You probably gonna get to see the Aliyah Boston that was at South Carolina under Stephanie White, because look how she did with Breonna Jones in Connecticut. Breonna Jones was scoring points, but she wasn't she's not good as Aliyah Boston, but you gotta think about it. She maximized everything she had in Breonna Jones. Breonna Jones had some decent games. She can't run the floor because she had, Achilles issues, but look how she maximized her. Imagine a player that's not injured and a player that you can maximize and get to run up and down the floor. Don't you understand the impact that she's going to have on her team? If you get Aliyah Boston moving up and down the floor, you've seen some of the things. She's probably going to be one of the best passing bigs in the game. You got Kelsey Mitchell, Caitlin Clark going to probably be one of the best two guards. You know what I'm saying? One of the best guards, shooting guards in the league ever. And then you got Aliyah Boston and Caitlin Clark is going to be one of the two best guard center combo ever played the game, because you're going to have so many different options and ways to utilize all three of these players. And then if you get Lexi right, especially when it comes to her three-point shooting, and you get her shooting very, very well, because to me, Lexi Hall could shoot way better than Dejanay Carrington. And I think her defense is a little bit better than Dejanay's. Dejanay all she does is chase down blocks. She don't really, she steal a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But I think when it comes down to hustle, overall hustle, defensive plays, I think Lexi has that. And that's what you need. You need that kind of impact players on your team. You know what I'm saying? We already know what Caitlin Clark is. We already know what Aliyah Boston is. Now you get the max. Now you're gonna push Kelsey Mitchell skill set even further. I mean, and like she said, Kelsey Mitchell weathered the storm being at Indiana for 7 years. Now she got a taste of the playoffs. Now she's going to be a part of a new regime, a new coach who's going to utilize her in ways that she never utilized. Now you get to take away some of Kelsey's bad habits that she had with Chrissy Size, and seeing that how Kelsey blossomed under, when she got on the same page with a Caitlin Clark. You seeing how that was able to impact their scoring. You know what I'm saying? And now you're going to have somebody like Kelsey that's going to be able to play more effective team basketball. Not so much erratic, not all these one-on-ones, all of this. She's going to be coach hard. Caitlin's going to be coach hard. But see, Caitlin's used to being coach hard because she had Lisa Bluter. Lisa Bluter coached her hard. But she also gave her the freedom. She wants this team to play loose. Stephanie White wants the team to play loose. They want to have fun. You're going to see a team that's going to play with a lot of excitement, a lot of fun. Just think about it. Look how the Minnesota Lynx play. They play together as a team. They win. They do a little dance. They fun and exciting. They might not be like like the Indiana Fever excitement, but hey, they play together. They do things together, and this is what Indiana is pretty much is trying to emulate, but in a better way, because you have better players. To me, you got a superstar in Fisher Carlo over there, but Kayla, I forgot her name, but she's good too, but she's been in the league a while. So, and guess what? Like I said before, Caitlin Clark and Aliyah Boston is you think about it. You could say Kobe and Shaq. You say Mark Price, Doherty. You could say Karl Malone, John Stockton. You could say Tony Parker and Tim Duncan. You could pair any kind of combination with these two. And like she named some in the league, BG and Taurasi, I think they're going to be way better than them. Way better than them. So it's what it is. I feel like at the end of the day, man, Stephanie White was the best choice. She was the best choice, whether people agree with it or not agree with it. But you could tell that she wanted to coach Caitlin Clark. You could feel it. You could hear it in her. You could feel like she wanted to coach Caitlin Clark. She wanted to coach Aliyah Boston. She wanted to grab this team and say, you know what, I could take this team, further. Yeah, they gave Chrissy Size credit, but that's something I'm going to illustrate in the next video tomorrow for part 3. But she wants to bring this team different. You got to start from a core 3, like she said. You got to bring pieces around. It has to be fun. I'm going to rewind the last part of that press conference she had and let you listen to the whole thing where she said when you bring a core 3 together real quick.
Ryan and Kelly are just talking about, players and evaluations before we came out here, and building quality depth is going to be important. When you have a core 3 like we have, surrounding them with players who are going to, fill the roles, certainly, first and foremost, who are going to embrace the roles, secondly, and who give us the best opportunities for success by complementing what they do really, really well. We have seen in this league's history, how difficult it is to win a championship. The margin for error is small. When you're building teams, it's not about always just getting the best players. It's about getting the best complement of players who fit well together, who play well with one another, who work to bring the best out in one another. I believe truly in my heart that connected teams are winning teams. And so players who fit the culture of the Indiana Fever and where we are and where we're moving towards.
And I guarantee you, and I said this before, and I said again, don't be surprised if the Fever, Kelly Amber, don't look to bring some players from overseas to part of this roster. They're going to look to the success of players like people like like how the Minnesota Lynx did it. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to think, there's superstar. I mean, there's free agent talent in there. I think a Tina Charles would be a perfect mentor to Aliyah Boston. She could help her with her game a little bit. That's something. Necker, I don't know. I really don't know about her too much. You know, I'm kind of on the fence of her coming to the Fever because she probably wants, like, you're gonna have to let her start. Now I would now front court with Necker, um, Kelsey, Boston. Oh, man, and Necker could actually Necker Umake could shoot threes really good. She's a really good 3-point shooter. She's a spacer. So, and she rebounds pretty well. So I don't know. I'm on the fence with that. I dive more into that later in the week. But nevertheless, guys, if you ain't excited right now about the Indiana Fever and Stephanie White, what she's doing and what she's talking about, you know what I'm saying? Then I don't know what to tell you. You know, all the other stuff, you know, like I said, all the other stuff that's a later date. But right now, like I said, my main focus is how they're gonna build this roster around Caitlin, around Kelsey, around Leah, around Lexi. Because if you think about it, them the four people right now that they core, and I think they're gonna pay Kelsey whatever it is off the top, because they can still have more money to make a trade and to pay Satu Sabli, you know, if they really gonna go for her, you know what I'm saying? So, and you gotta think about it. At the end of the day, guess what? The Indiana Fever gonna come out the gate hot. Don't be surprised in 2025. They're gonna come out the gate hot. Okay, you gotta think about it, in 2026, there's gonna be a bunch of free agents, and everybody's probably gonna is gonna try to come to Indiana. Everybody's gonna try to come to Indiana. Watch what I tell you now. Watch what I tell you. So that's gonna be a year where people gonna be like, man, I want to play for here. I want to play there. I want to play there. Because you gotta think, Indiana gonna have the most money. They're gonna probably have a lot of money to be able to sign these players. So, like I said, again, Stephanie White was the best hire. She's going to bring excitement. She's built for this. The spotlight isn't too big for her because she's been there before. She's been in there. She's gonna be a part of the Caitlin Clark effect, up close and personal. Not from a distance, not coaching from her, but really a hands-on experience of the Caitlin Clark effect. And you think she ain't thrilled about that? You don't think her smiles, her joy, her calmness is not she ain't, you know, excited about this? And being home to be able to, like, say, hey, I want to coach this team and help bring this team a championship, couple of championships. Like Carlos Carr said, they have unfinished business. Man, look at here. Let me tell you something. Y'all better get ready, because this is going to be a one hell of a ride with the Indiana Fever this year. Like I said, I already got my hotel booked for Indiana for the All-Star break. I will be there, and I definitely going to be going to some Indiana Fever games the upcoming season. So, again, guys, it's a great time to be a Fever fan. We talk about so many stuff when it comes to the Caitlin Clark, but now we got Stephanie White. It's going to be more exciting than ever, and I can't wait to see what Kelly is going to shape this team and put her staff together and see what it's going to be. Again, now part three of the Stephanie White press conference will come tomorrow, and that will be titled called "We About Business," and that's going to highlight Kelly, Stephanie, and Amber Cox. This one is just the core, and it's talking about, you know, the players, you know, what is needed for these players, and what impact that you can have with these players, and how you're going to put in talent around these players. So again, I think it's going to be great. Until then, it's your boy Livewire Sports. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.
Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? Livewire, it's all about sports and entertainment. You don't want to miss it, so official like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats. You know that we gotta run it back, whether on the field or the court. You know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is Livewire, sports and entertainment. Let's go.